not this time!
And you join us mid-rant as Respawn is venting his anger at certain issues in the game before we even get started. Before we even hit record, there's ranting. So just be prepared.
I wanted to get it out.
There's going to be ranting, there's going to be sighing, and Peroty's going to be silent throughout. So we're going to give Peroty the majority of the talking to do because Respawn's going to speak for the other half of the podcast. And I'm just going to come back in with the tips, trips, guides, and builds.
So, wait, is that by design?
I'm just laying it out for the people to hear. Basically, you're going to rant. We're going to go to the twab.
No. My rant
and
is
then
over.
I'm going to come back in.
I've done the rant.
No, your rant is not over.
Welcome to Two Titans and a Hunter, a Destiny 2 podcast. A show where we discuss tips, tricks and tools to help all Guardians succeed and enjoy playing more. What makes us different? Well, we're not streamers or YouTubers, we just have a passion for Destiny and are dedicated to keeping Guardians informed and up to date with all the latest Destiny 2 news, information and opinions. We encourage your questions and feedback, and you can contact us either by email, twotitansandahunter@hotmail.com, or on Twitter @twotitans_hunter. Now, on with the show. Anyway, shall we start the show?
Might as well.
Peroty, are you ready to start today?
If I can stop coughing long enough, yes.
Okay.
Oh, and yesterday, because I was playing with my son and not paying attention, a literacy popped its ugly head in. Yeah. A literacy popped its head in.
Now you started again. Yeah.
And no, you guys will find this funny, right? Because
But will the listeners find it funny?
Probably, because they think I'm an idiot anyway. So you know how you have the powerful dungeons to get the armor and whatnot when you solo it, right?
I've heard of them, yes.
Well, I
powerful
saw
dungeons or
powerful, not Nightfall, damn it. Powerful.
Hang on.
Lost Sectors.
There we go.
So, I saw the head, right? And I was like, cool, I got the arms, so might as well go get the head, right? So I go there, and I completed it like 6 times, right? I had 2 exotic leg pieces come from the chest, and 1 exotic leg piece come from just something random in the Lost Sector. And I was very upset. And Tube was laughing at me. And Az come to join the party like towards the end of my little adventure, right? And Az is like, for 250. I'm like, yeah, I'm trying to get the helmet. It's 250 today. I want to get it. He goes, I don't see that map. I'm like, what? Yeah, it's like right in the middle. And he goes, Respawn. I don't think we have the same map. I was like, what are you talking about? So I open my map up and I look, and the one that I'm in is the one for the legs.
All you saw was the symbol, didn't you?
It was the one for the leg. No, I saw the head one. The head one was further up north, right? But like a goober, I went to the first symbol that I saw instead of the last symbol that I saw, and I grinded that for like an hour and a half. Not realizing I was in the wrong one. And I was like, oh crap. Well, I'm 1260. Let's go try to tackle that 1280. And because of everybody in the party was making fun of me and all this other stuff, I couldn't focus, and I kept dying right in the very beginning of the dungeon. I was like, I'll try this later, man. I can't do this right now. But yeah, over an hour grinding the wrong Lost Sector, wondering why I'm getting all the leg pieces. And sure enough, when I look at the Lost Sector that I'm in, it's for leg pieces. And I just felt so bad. I was like, this can't be a thing. This can't be a thing.
Words are hard.
You are a nutter.
Yeah. Also, I don't know if you saw it. Peroty did. We had a fan reach out to us in the tower last night. Well, it was for the show. He reached out to me, but he mentioned the show, right? So I'm going to try not to hit my microphone again, because that would be the best thing to do. And I'm going to give a shout out to Mr. General Snowbat. Thanks for reaching out. Glad you love the show. And yeah, I do hope that the raid goes well today. I hope you're watching whenever we succeed and or most likely fail. So appreciate the heads up. I'll call out.
Yeah, thank you for listening. And I would say enjoy the raid race, but really it's going to be a lot of screaming. So I advise you just to turn the volume down on the raid race now and then you'll save your hearing for later in the day.
What's going to be even funnier is I'm not even going to be the one that's going to be doing most of the screaming. If you guys haven't rated with Fuzz yet, there's a reason they call him Angry Ray Dad. All right.
Can't wait.
So, welcome to a very tired show this week.
Indeed.
I'm Night Demon. It's Respawn. It's Peroty.
That's a great intro. Night Demon.
You know us. We're here. We're here every week.
Well, so far, I've asked if we're ready. You've gone off onto another story and tangent. Then you thanked somebody, even before I've got to the point of this is who we are. So, if they've managed to get past all of that, then welcome.
My bad? Question mark?
Normally there's an order to the show, but I just
no, don't lie to the people. There's absolute chaos. I mean, if they heard last week's show, they know there's chaos. There was only some order.
No control.
There was a man trying to keep order last week, and we see how that went. He still hasn't recovered.
I don't. Did you see the running times for the shows? I think Guardian Hub was 250 something.
I did.
Guardian Down was 312, and we were 324. But we added like an extra 20 minutes to ours. So I was like, where have they got another 10 minutes from in theirs? And then I was listening to it last night.
Find out.
I was listening last night, and they've inserted an ad for themselves, which is a couple of minutes. I was thinking, well, this isn't, 15 minutes extra than Guardian Hub, unless Guardian Hub edited a lot of stuff out.
Probably they're just like, no one needs any of this. No, but that was a blast. I had a good time recording that. It was fun getting other people's takes other than Respawn's, even though that's all I really heard on the season so far, and people who play things differently than I do.
Yeah,
because I've been taking it real easy as your screenshots of Charlemagne this week have showed. You and Respawn sitting at the top of power, me being like, yeah, I'm here at like 12 or so. I'll see you guys later because I'm playing the long game, the slow grind.
Is that what that is? Okay.
That's what I'm telling myself.
You calling yourself the slow game?
My excuse for power leveling is the fact that I need to get the information out there for the people. And as it looks like for Respawn, so that he doesn't make mistakes like he has done this week. But obviously he doesn't want to contact me as he's trying to power level for the raid. So
first of all, I don't even think you were awake last night whenever I ran into this little thing that you're talking about. Did you call me first? No, I didn't. But
Respawn,
what?
I work.
He works overnight. He was awake. He was messaging me.
I was awake until you actually went to bed.
Oh, well, I suppose there is that.
Yeah. See, remember last week we were all on a podcast at the same time and I was working?
Wait, we were all on a podcast at the same time?
Oh.
I was fast.
Bring me back to a week ago.
So if you are new to the show, each week we give you a rundown just in time of what's happening next week in Destiny. So we can tell you there's some good stuff next week, Respawn. There's some hot rewards. So you can enjoy double Nightfall, the Ordeal rewards all week long, and earn double Platinum rewards in the Nightfall Ordeal all weekend by defeating champions. And Showdown goes live in the Crucible. Remember, we've got no flashpoints anymore, so you can't get those. We can't even guess at those. And we've got one Crucible extra mode next week, so that's good. And I'm guessing continue your Wrathborn Hunts, continue Season of the Hunt, continue on Europa and discovering penguins, because they seem to be a weekly thing.
Oh.
And if you don't know what I'm talking about.
I do. I found the first one. I didn't know it was a weekly thing.
I'm not talking to you.
Oh!
I'm talking to the peoples.
Okay. That makes
sense. If you don't
know
what I'm talking about, there are hidden penguins on Europa. And last week, I think it was last week, Abby Hour posted penguin number 1, where to find it. And this week, she has posted where to find penguin number 2. So I will link both of those back in the show notes if you are interested in collecting those, because there's obviously something to go along with them, a triumph, hidden emblem, something nice.
There's a thing. There's a mega boss penguin. There's a penguin friend you can get to follow you around and destroy everything.
Do not tease me like this. I will believe you.
Well, see, what I'm really trying to understand is at some point, is there some artifact or some ability in the game that can befriend enemies like there was in Destiny 1?
Not yet. Not until we go back to the Iron Temple.
Because I'm really confused, because I was playing a Gambit match this week, and there was a very large angry Scorn behind me. Who was my friend? He wasn't trying to hurt me. He wasn't trying to kill me. I'll put him in the Discord. This is Bob, the deceived abomination. We're friends now. He was one of the big giant, arc throwing Scorn guys in Gambit, and I walked up to him, and he had a little I'm a friend icon above his head. It was blue, not red, and he wasn't trying to kill me. So I have no idea why. I don't know how he got that way and why he decided to join the Play of the Guardians, but he did.
So it probably has to do with one of the reasons why the Warlock super that has to do with blinking and arc was disabled. If you're,
it will befriend the Scorn and turn them to your side.
No. What happens is if they use their super and they blink right before they're sent back, they actually stay over on the other side, right? And they can just stay there indefinitely and just kill your whole team repeatedly over and over and over again until they die. And you can even get a second invader to come across. So it really broke Gambit. And I'm assuming that glitch has to do with Warlocks breaking Gambit. Literally,
and if you're interested in seeing what he's talking about, Cheese Forever has a lovely video on that, and I will link that in the show notes.
Nice. Yeah, it was just one of those.
Yeah, you could literally have two invaders because it wouldn't send you back. It was fantastic.
Oh, that's nutty. Yeah, so that's why the Warlocks got all the nerfs this week. Which I don't know. I was playing a bunch of Mayhem yesterday night with Nihilus Pan and GDad, and we were bubble training and also just throwing giant walls of ice at people.
Yeah.
And the Warlocks were still doing okay. The nerfs they got, I think they're going to be all right, guys. I think they're going to somehow make it through this. They were still laying waste to everyone and to everything.
Yeah, no, they're definitely not hurting. But people are still complaining about them. And my friend last night, who's back into playing Destiny, by the way, stage 2, even though you don't listen to the show because you're a hateful person. He plays Titan, and he keeps complaining about how Titans always get nerfed, and Titans are never any good, and Bungie picks on Titans. And I'm like, are we playing the same game? Because that's not what happens at all, dude. But yeah, he's very upset about the Titan changes, guys, if y'all didn't know.
So as we've alluded to, there's a lot of information in This Week at Bungie for the 19th of November regarding what's happened with the Warlocks and other stuff. So shall we get into it, guys?
Absolutely, positively.
So yeah, at the beginning of the TWAB this week, they link 2 lore pieces that they've kind of just gone, if you haven't prepared for Season of the Hunt that's kicked off this week, here, I'll go read these, part 1 and part 2. And there was a big thing that happened in this lore dump. And if you don't read the lore or follow people on Twitter and things, you don't really know what's happened in the backstory to Osiris and his ghost.
Ah, yes.
Yeah, nothing great.
So do you want me to, are you waiting for me to say it? Or are we waiting for the lore guy to say it? Or what are we doing?
Should we not tell the people and just make them read it?
Well, I think that's the idea. Bungie want people to read it, don't they?
Oh, okay. So we're not spoiling it. We're just letting them know to go look at it. Gotcha.
Yeah. There's I actually read all the lore drop. The logbook. Get yourself a nice cup of coffee and a comfy chair. Get in your slippers. Put your feet up because that's a long read to get through. But the 2 Immolent ones aren't nearly as long. But there's some stuff happening.
Yep. If you thought Sagira was bad before, or was like a badass before, then you're really going to think she's a badass now.
Eyes up, Guardian.
So if you haven't guessed it, this week or this weekend or today, as we record in the morning, because we had to get Respawn up really early to record this, is the new raid going live later on today. And what time is that for you, Respawn?
I think it's about 1 o'clock, right? Because an hour after reset.
There you go. So it's about 6 o'clock UK time. Maybe 5 o'clock. I can't remember how they work out the UTC these times because we've had clocks go forward, we've had clocks go back.
We've had clocks explode.
My clocks usually run round and round, sort of in a clockwise motion.
Yes.
Actually, it's funny that you say that because in my kitchen I have one of those weird ones that are backwards that go counterclockwise and all the numbers are backwards and nobody ever notices.
No, your clock's broken. Yeah, Bungie has put up a big page that I saw this morning for the raid race. The all-new raid, Deep Stone Crypt. Yay. Watch the raid race World's First, November 21st. That's today at 10 a.m. Pacific, 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. UTC, and Australia, it's tomorrow for you guys. So watch
by the time you've heard this, it would have been over and done with. Respawn will have been maybe 100th, maybe got into the top 100. Maybe.
Oh, come on. No glory.
I don't even think that.
They're going to win. They're going to win the whole thing. I don't know what you guys are talking about.
They could do. I don't want to put them down.
Let's go whip this crack team into shape. They're going to get through it. They're going to blow through World's First. It's going to be amazing. We're going to be congratulating him on his giant belt. It's going to be great.
And what's good about this? What's good about this is the fact that no matter how long this podcast is, it's not going to be as long as the footage that's going to come from the raid race.
Oh,
so
God, no.
You're going to have days and days worth of YouTube podcast with maybe different stages. Maybe this podcast today that you're hearing will be the first encounter for the first 3 hours. And then the second encounter, if they do get that far, it may still be the first encounter, will be the following week. So it's just be quite fun to see how much they fail.
Absolutely no faith in us. Don't feel bad. I don't have any faith in us either.
I have all the faith in you. It'll be fine.
We do have a couple of substitutes, so.
Yeah. There's also the 2-drink minimum. Do we talk about there's a man who's back again?
Back again. Guess who's back? I don't know how to make his name rhyme. Sorry.
No, because I'm still talking about the raid stuff.
Oh.
So Respawn is going to be under the contest mode, which caps his power at 20 power below each encounter. And it doesn't matter what power he is, 1264 at the moment, he's still going to be cut down to 1230, and regardless of his artifact.
Yeah.
So you've got that to look forward to. But that is only for the first 24 hours. After the raid has been cracked, and one time, didn't it go down to the wire? Wasn't it completed after the 24 hours?
Yeah.
I believe. Wasn't that the last raid, the garden?
Mm-hmm.
So after that, the powers are re-enabled. So you could, if you've seen all the different videos, you could go in and play this week and get yourself a nice emblem and get you some raid loot.
Raid loot! I can't wait to see what the raid loot is. I haven't seen any of it yet.
Apparently some of it looks really nice. You can go and look in your collections and see what it looks like.
Nope, not going to do it. I want to see what drops.
What drops, if anything.
Yeah, right. I do like being surprised when it comes to some things, so.
And there was a lot of talk earlier this week about what might happen with the raid. What they canceled trials. They've had might have pushed things back. People are going, are they going to cancel the raid or are they going to push the raid back? Because as we've briefly touched on, warlocks became all powerful. Please bow down to them. Keep them happy. Make them happy. Whatever they want, bring it to them.
Mm-hmm.
So Bungie has pushed a couple of hot fixes this week. So there's a combat hot fix where they fixed an issue where the Coriolis Force fusion rifle was getting more ammo than intended from ammo bricks. So they figured Ruin Wings out. They brought it back in a fusion rifle. Good to know. They've also fixed the issue where the Wither Horde damage debuff wasn't being removed properly. So the Wither Horde has now been re-enabled again. GDad, you can use your Wither Horde. Be happy, melt people. Although he's really enjoying that Salvation grip these days. Mm-hmm. It's fun for freezing primevals. And the Warlocks, they made some ability changes, guys. They fixed the exploit in the Warlock Shadebinder Super. Your stasis breakout damage has been reduced from 110 hit points to 90 hit points. They adjust the curve that reduces the damage using resilience. They increase the damage reduction effect resilience so that higher tiers of resilience are more valuable, which caps out at 90. So basically, the more resilient you are, the easier it is to break out of stasis.
No, it's not easier. Hold on. Let me make this correction. It's not easier to break out of stasis. You just have more life when you break out of it.
Okay, right. Sorry. Yeah, you have more. You take less of a damage hit from breaking out of it.
There you go.
And did you guys know it's now tied? Well, I think when they built it, it was tied to your resilience factor. So the higher your resilience, the better the the less damage you take from being broken out of it.
Yeah.
And I think Mercules was on the Destiny Community podcast this week, and he was explaining that literally if you're at 10 resilience, you take literally nothing. There's hardly any damage to yourself. So in Crucible or in PvE, it's really good to stack up your resilience now. They've actually made it worth being at 10 resilience.
They made it worth something. Doesn't help you when you're frozen jumping over a pit and falling into a hole, but you do what you can.
Hey, baby steps, man. Baby steps.
Speaking of turning babies into steps, our Warlock staff melee, the Penumbral Blast, they reduced these projectile speed by 20%. The Penumbral Blast, the Warlock staff melee, they reduced the range, was 28 meters, now it's 16 meters. The Winter's Wrath, the Warlock stasis melee, duration was reduced from 30 seconds to 24 seconds. And the Winter's Wrath light attack on the super the cost was reduced from 5% to burst, is now 5% per burst, was 4.5% per burst. And the Cold Snap Seeker, speed reduced by 23%. So basically they reduced all the Warlock things.
Yeah.
All of them.
I feel sorry for the Warlock melee, because I was trying to use that in PvE content, and it was just kind of whiffing. If it was literally, the guy was there, and I think it was like a teleporting Vex. He moved slightly backwards, and then it just turned into a snowball, into a puff of air, and just disappeared. I was like, God damn it! Where's my Monte Carlo? I need that back. So,
Syntheseps. It's all Syntheseps.
no,
He's not wrong.
And thankfully, they did make some, PvP changes, because everyone's been screaming about how, stasis and PvP is, terrible and overpowered and ruining life for everyone. They made some changes that are only against Guardians, so PvP only changes. The Cold Snap freeze duration was lowered from 4.75 seconds to 1.35 seconds. So they chucked 3 seconds off the Cold Snap freeze. That seems nice. The ice flare bolt freeze duration was lowered from the same thing, almost 5 seconds, to a little over a second. The melee freeze duration was, they took everything from basically 4 3/4 seconds to 1.3 seconds.
They did not pay attention. The things that they lowered were the Cold Snap grenade only, not the other grenades.
Ice flare, Cold Snap, and the Warlock staff melee. And the Winter's Wrath heavy attack no longer affects players who are not encased. You have to be encased to get the heavy attack. So yeah, I mean they nerfed some. They didn't nerf it all into the ground like they did with say Nova Warp. But
so like Hunter Freeze and Titan Freeze still last the full 4.57 seconds if you didn't pay attention.
Yeah, those are some changes I'm happy to see, because I don't mind being frozen in PvP. I mind being frozen in PvP and having to sit there in timeout and think about it. Freeze me for a little over a second, fine. Slow me down.
But you can though.
Follow up.
That's what I'm trying to get to you. That's only that one grenade, and then the Warlock abilities that only freeze for a second and a third, right? All the other freezy abilities haven't been touched. So all the Titan freezes, all the other grenades, the Hunter freezes, all that stuff will still freeze you for over 4 seconds.
Right. They'll likely touch those now that they've brought the Warlock back to Earth and fix the giant game-breaking bugs with it.
Right.
Some things you may have seen this week, they've also fixed an issue where the pinnacle rewards were not dropping at the correct power. And they fixed an issue with the several repeatable bounties providing more XP than intended. I saw our buddy Cheese Forever tweeting that they turned off the Moon's bounties, repeatable bounties, but like every repeatable bounty was apparently giving you way more XP than intended.
Yes, they were, all of them.
So so why they went after the Moon specifically? Maybe that was an easy one they could turn off. I don't know, but those are all back and re-enabled now.
Yeah,
and,
I think
they fixed
the Moon was the only
where...
one that everybody was pointing to, but then the rest of them they found that were the same issue.
They just said, "Shh, if we don't tell you about this, maybe you won't know until we fix it in a couple days." And X's crash is all broken. They fixed an issue where the spider tank wasn't spawning, so they've had removed Exodus Crash, Strike, and Nightfall earlier in the week, and now it's been re-enabled. And good news, they fixed the issues causing arugula errors. So if you were seeing arugula in space, it's better now.
Oh, I can't believe they didn't go with ice cream.
No. And they fixed an issue where the fragment pursuits were purchasable with a full inventory. So yeah.
Did they? Oh, that stinks.
They did. In 3.003, they came out on Thursday afternoon of this week, on the 19th of November. So yeah, if you picked up your game earlier in the week and then later in the week and something's different, that's why.
Mm-hmm. You know, one thing they didn't fix that I'm actually happy about, because you know how normally Bungie's really good about taking away the things that we really enjoy. They still haven't touched the sparrow being faster.
Doesn't matter.
That doesn't break anything. It doesn't have any real gameplay anything. Now bring back SRL and they'll nerf that thing into the ground.
Yeah.
But yeah, who cares? No. You need that sparrow to get through Europa. Having run around Europa last night a little bit after other folks jumped off trying to do a couple of bounties and go up here, now go visit this lost sector, now go over here, now go back and visit Spider, go back and visit the Exo Stranger.
Mm-hmm.
I should just get on a treadmill while I play that game. I would be so fit just walking on the treadmill while I was sparrowing to where I needed to be, because it'll take you a while.
Right.
I'm not saying Bungie is turn this into a walking simulator, but it's a little bit of a racing sim. Europa's big. It's really big. And when you're trying to find a doorway in a snowstorm, it's not easy.
That's right, guys. And for those of you that haven't been, yes, there are more than one transmat spot. And the problem is both transmat spots are right next to each other at the very bottom of this big map. So there's that.
Yeah. But how are you guys another weekend enjoying Europa?
Europa's fun. I still like the aesthetics of it. Like a lot.
Yeah, the storms are cool. As much as I get annoyed sometimes that the storm blows in and goes, well, I was looking for a thing and now it's over there somewhere. I enjoy the mechanic. I enjoy that it messes with your visibility and like blows your sparrow around, but like it doesn't, like there's no chance of freezing to death. There's no like survival mechanic in the storms.
Right. Yeah.
Maybe they'll be in the raid. Maybe you freeze after a certain amount of time unless you do something quickly enough. Mm-hmm.
Don't say things like that.
Can we just, a lot of people are having guesses at what's in the raid, and I thought it'd be fun to kind of throw it out to us here. Who do you think is going to be the big bad in the raid, apart from the obvious?
I have no idea.
Largest thrall you've ever seen in your life. Drafted with Vex parts and Exo parts, it's going to be Exo Thrall. That's going to be the final raid boss.
No, somebody was saying it's going to be a giant Exo, and that giant Exo is like one of Clovis's earlier experiments. So Clovis is going to be the boss, you know.
Well, I mean, you alluded to where Clovis is at the moment, or an iteration of Clovis.
Uh-huh.
So does that mean that is him in the tower, or does that mean that it's just one of the versions that he's stored that's just been wiped over and over again?
Well, that is the original Clovis.
Okay.
Exo. So yeah,
there could be an evil Clovis in the raid.
There could, because so what happens is when Clovis was going through
evil,
the procedure,
he was evil anyway. So Banshee still could be evil.
Yeah, no. So Clovis, while he was going through the experiment to become Banshee 44, right, when he was like sacrificing his life or whatever, the thing is that the AI, which was a part of Clovis, didn't want it to happen, and he was fighting him every step of the way, and it was arguing with him. It's like, no, you can't do this, don't do this, or whatever, right? And it called him Clovis, and it said that's not what they call me anymore, yada yada yada. Point is the AI system did not want him to do this, and he did it anyway. So I'm guessing that AI system put one of his original before memory wiped copies into a giant Exo, and that's going to be the boss. That's my prediction.
So is it going to be like you just think it's going to be a giant Exo then?
Yeah, from like the waist up. I think he's not going to have any legs. He's just going to be there from the waist up.
So it's going to be a bit like, is it Axis from Wrath of the Machine?
Yeah.
I hope, man. Just
drops into a spider 1 minute, drops into a tank the next fight. It just gets bigger and bigger. Okay. See, I was thinking, because I'm sure I heard this while playing the campaign, that Aramis was talking about the Exo bodies and being able to put her consciousness into an Exo body. And I'm sure I heard those lines of getting the body ready and blah blah blah. So
yeah,
possibly this could be that Eramis is still the big bad at the end of this in the raid, and her consciousness is in an exo body or in a giant exo. That's what I
could
think.
be, especially since that last battle we had to fight is that one guy trying to quote unquote revive her.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So yeah, you could absolutely be right, but I like giant exo Clovis better from the waist up.
I can't remember whether it was you or whether it was Arf that was explaining the fact that they didn't necessarily need to kill off the brain to actually put your conscious or your whatever it is into an exo body. So I think it was Arf, wasn't he? He was explaining that originally they thought that the brains were destroyed so that they could then put them into the exo body, which is why there could be a possibility of the Cade brain still being around, or Cade's body still be like frozen somewhere, the original Cade. So potentially she could have transferred her consciousness into an exo body to then that is the raid boss throughout. So they've maintained the story going through into the raid, which would be really nice to continue that story thread.
See, I've also read lore where they said that the scanning process for the exo destroys the brain. The process that they use to scan the brain is what destroys it for the exo. Okay.
Well, that would be fun to go and fight like a evolving raid boss. Like, here's iteration 1, iteration 2, iteration 3, like fighting Eramis throughout the entire raid, but like in a different form each time. Like her consciousness shifts, or it's here's the early version, here's the better version, here's a most improved version.
Well, I still think he's right, because remember what she was talking about, that scientist, and she said Clovis Bray came up with the technology, but her scientist guy that we killed perfected it, or was perfecting it. So yeah, maybe the one that we fought was post scan Eramis, and she did upload her consciousness without destroying her brain. So you could be right.
Oh, let's face it, she was frozen at the end of our battle in the story. So her brain is whatever the elixir thing is frozen. So they could potentially extract something from that and put it into an exo. We say exo, it could be a giant Vex.
Could be a giant exo. Could be a giant Vex.
Just a giant robot.
I do want to see a giant exo though. I mean, we fought enough giant Vexes to last me a lifetime.
You know what? I'm going to laugh my ass off if it's like Oryx and it kind of pulls its way up out of the ground, and it's this giant thing that you have to fight and shoot its eyes and shoot its ears for like crit spots. And I'm just going to hear the terror in your voice when you go, "Oh my god, I didn't mean that big."
Oh no, I don't care how big it is. Like if it's big, this is getting really out of context real fast.
Tell me again how big
we are talking about the raid race and a robot.
Yeah. So
big robot.
I mean, if it is a big exo, I think that would actually be pretty dope. Just and especially because I've seen some of the larger exos inside of, if you pay attention to the laboratory where you go do a bunch of stuff, right? They have a giant exo in there, but again, it's only from the waist up, and that's why I'm kind of hoping that that's the one we got to fight just from the waist up. That's all. Nothing else.
Maybe it gets bigger throughout the raid. Like as Peroty said, the raid boss, you fight it in different iterations, and finally it's just like got tanks strapped to it. It's got Vex strapped to it. It's a giant wyvern. Yeah. It's a giant wyvern.
No, what happens is you're on the right track, right? There's a bunch of tanks, and there was that Transformer back in the day for the people that watch Transformers, and all the cars combined to make one large Transformer. So that's what it's going to be. It's going to start off as the exo torso, and then it's going to have tank legs, right? And then it's going to have like a tank on its back with cannons over its shoulders.
So what you're saying is tanks on tanks on tanks on tanks, stacks on stacks on stacks on stacks.
And then the spider tank is going to be on the back of it with its little legs poking forward to give it extra appendages. Yeah, absolutely, man. Let's do this.
Yeah, I'm really curious because every time we sit and play these, what do we think it's going to be? What do you think the bosses are going to be? I look at it and go, okay, that sort of makes sense. I try to think about what does Bungie introduce in Beyond Light? What mechanics are there? What new things are there? What thing are they going to exploit for this raid? And I really want them just to do something completely off the wall and be like, no, we're bringing this back. It's going to be a whole different thing. It's gonna be amazing.
Giant Exo say what? What?
But I'm gonna sit and enjoy watching you guys struggle and scream and flail your way through it.
Oh wow,
'Cause
thanks.
better. Well, I mean, because better you than me. I would get into room 1 and go, "Yep, there's a room here. There's you want me to do things. I don't know what they are. I'm done." Props to everybody, raid racing and figuring this out, because I am, that is just not who I am, and I am not someone who's going to sit and figure out puzzles. I can execute on a strategy once you tell me what to do, but as far as figuring out what to do, nope.
Peroty, I'm right there with you, bro. I am not good at figuring these things out. That's why they tell me, hey, Respawn, stand here, shoot this. Now move there, shoot that. All right, cool. I got you. But coming up with the mechanic is definitely not my strong suit.
Yeah.
I think the confusing thing was that the Garden of Salvation had more to do with the Season of Undying, didn't it, with the Vex invasion, than it did the Hive infestation of the moon. So I think they're probably going to go down the route of trying to tie it more in with the story, because that's what people want, is the story content. And hopefully it does something like it did in Forsaken, is that when the guys complete something or even complete the raid, it opens up something else, which would be really nice.
That's how we get the sword. No, that is confirmed. You don't get the sword exotic quest until after we beat the raid, because the sword exotic quest has something to do with finding exoskeletons everywhere, right?
And saying that, I have a video
exoskeleton. So
I have a video from Jarv on the locations of all the exos around Europa. You can't scan them or pick them up at the moment, but he's already done a video of all the locations for the sword quest. So I will link that in the show notes.
Spoilers!
No spoilers.
No, but by the time it will be out, people will know things.
Right?
Yeah. But what I'm saying is that I hope that, like, when we had the Dreaming City, it opened up, and then we had the curse, didn't we? But before that, we didn't have the curse. Something happened, and I can't remember what it was. It was so many years ago.
Yeah, that's the thing I'm most curious about is what changes in the world? What evolution are we going to see? Like, does something happen? In beyond, like on Europa, like does something what happens after this raid gets finished?
I do it. Hold on, baby's here. Keep going.
You should go hang on Europa and figure out what new thing has Bungie put into the game that they're now going to exploit over and over again in this new raid.
Right.
What new mechanic are you going to be really tired of by the end of today?
My guess, it's probably, and I've never been right with these things, so don't get excited. My guess is it's probably going to be something that has to do with, like, you have to put orbs in this thing or everybody freezes and the team wipes. That'd be my guess, right? Because Bungie loves their orbs, man, and they love putting them into stuff where everybody dies. So,
platforming section with ice. You have to first build the platform, and then you have to jump across the gaps with the ice.
I go one better. Right, picture this. You know that first room in Wrath of the Machine where you go through the tunnels and you suddenly drop down and there's just all those screens in front of you and you're like, what's going to happen next?
Oh,
right, remember that. But picture that. So you're going down and literally you fall down the shaft and it's black and you drop down. The whole team drop down into this circle and then suddenly all around the room, all these little lights light up and it's 100 wyverns just sitting there waiting for you.
No, but you did remind me of something. Remember how in a past raid you had that room with the binary codes everywhere, right? And you had to know binary in order to know what order, what sequence to do all this stuff in, right?
Yeah,
something like that would be
pyramid.
Cool. Yeah, something like that would be cool, right? But instead of binary, this time it's hexadecimal, or even something weird like instead of base 8, base 10, or base 16, do it like base 4. So
the problem with that is that they can't put that into the main part of the raid. They can put it in there as a kind of sneaky extra thing because you had to do that to get the outbreak, didn't you? You had to do something to get something extra out of that raid. You got an emblem and an exotic out of that chest that opened up the pyramid, but it won't be part of the main thing.
Or will it?
Oh, speaking of which, I was tripping one of my buddies out last night. We were playing, and I was showing him a new build, right? Because I found a new toy to play with, guys. I don't know if you know this, right? So I use a lot of the mods for stacking light, right? But I've only ever used them for either A, doing extra damage, or B, protecting me if you know my shield went down, right? Making me invincible for a little while. Yep. But last night I found a new toy. I found out that I had a mod because I was just like, what else can I do with this? You know, what do I have? And I found something called Energy Converter, right?
Yep.
So I have Bad Juju, which is a pulse rifle, obviously. I have Swift Charge, which, you know, rapid hits with pulse rifles, sidearms with submachine guns, charges you with light. And then I have Taking Charge, which when you pick up an orb of light, you pick up charges, or when you pick up an orb of power, you become charged with light. There we go. Words are difficult this morning. And then I have 2 stacks of supercharged and a stack of 2 stacks of supercharged. And that's it, right? So that gives me 5 stacks of charge with light. Okay? So what happens is when I get the 5 stacks, which I get really fast with the Bad Juju, right? I chuck a nade, and that nade gives me 25% of my super like that. I was like, this is so cheaty. Literally, we were in a boss fight. I popped a super at the beginning of the boss fight, right? And was whacking on it. And then when the boss had about a third of his health left, I had another super. I popped it again. I was like, this is insane. Oh, God. Yeah, so the super energy you get from the Bad Juju, mixed with the fact that you become charged with light with Swift Charged, coupled with the fact that Bad Juju drops orbs of light, so Taking Charge also charges you, and then you combine all that with Energy Converter, boom, 25% super off the bat. But there's a caveat, okay? If you're above a certain percentage in your super, it won't go over that. So, like, if you already have 50% of your super and you chuck a nade, it does nothing. So this is best used right after you pop a super, you chuck a nade to give yourself an instant 25% back and work from there, you know? So that is the only caveat. It doesn't give you 25% like if you only have like 10% left or whatever. It's like the first half of the super, it does it for you. The last half, it does not. I don't know why.
You know what? I really do love listening to you when you discover something. It's like when a child finds a new toy to play with. And they get all excited. And this toy's been around for like 6 months in their bedroom and they haven't noticed it. Yeah. Everybody else has played with it. We've all talked about it. You've ignored it. And now you found it.
It's not a thing. No, not this particular build. We haven't.
No, I haven't talked about your specific build with your specific Juju. But we've talked about that mod.
I don't remember that much. And I didn't know how good it was. Because it just said a percentage of super. I didn't know that percentage of super was going to be 5 to 10% per freaking stack. What?
I'm sure I pointed you in the thingy of an Aztecross video. Where you went over that. So now we've got over our predictions of what's actually going to happen. And by the time you hear the podcast, you'll know what's happened. And you'll be able to say, well, you did really good guessing, guys.
Is that what they're going to say? Well, I mean, no, the guessing was good. Our guessing is top notch. Our accuracy, leaves a little bit to be desired, probably. We'll see. Because, yeah, it's fun talking about things that haven't happened yet. By the time the people hear it, it will have happened. So they'll know that we're all fools and don't know what we're doing. So really the only questions now that remain are, have you gotten your power high enough? No. Do you have your A team assembled? Absolutely not. Are you prepared for battle? And for those of you who may not be racing, who will you be watching? I'll be watching No One Respawns in Real Life and Fuzzco and the PC crew reading through and trying to figure out the story. I will be sitting and watching them and flipping around on different Twitch streams and just seeing how people go. My biggest curiosity for the day is this one of these raids that's going to take, all of that 24 hours? Is it going to take 26 hours? Is it going to take 2 hours? Is this one that just absolutely stumps people, or is it going to be something that's solved very quickly and gets blown through, and people jumping from Discord to Discord, or jumping from Twitch stream to Twitch stream, watching the people who are in the final room and seeing which team not only makes it to the final boss, figures out and then executes the strategy. Because that's almost the most fun, is watching, these teams who have been at this for hours and hours, who are on their third reserves, just hitting their head against the wall going, we know what to do, but we can't quite do it. Because God knows, raiding with Frozen is like, we know the mechanics, we understand what to do, but getting 6 people to do that and not screw it up, that's the problem. So I'm looking forward just to flipping around and watching some of these streams today, because it's a lot of fun. And should we talk a little bit about I guess we'll talk a little bit about securing the entrance. So they've made some changes to the security of trials. What'd you break?
My mic, apparently. I was trying to talk to you. I said, I got to play Fuzzgo's advocate here, because he always has to specify, no, that's Frozen console. We're Frozen PC. Completely different animals. So. Oh,
yes. Oh, no, absolutely. Fully agree. Frozen PC is competent. Frozen console has no idea what we're doing. We are in desperate need of leadership.
Fuzz, I think that's a call out to you, buddy.
Yeah, no, he's going to whip you guys into shape and get you through this. The rest of us, useless.
Yeah, no, definitely.
So, should we talk about securing the entrance?
It's important to secure your entrance.
Yes, I don't know what you're talking about. Let's go.
So, if you are a new player on PC, there is a new SMS verification that they want you to kind of do, so that this is implemented for any free to play accounts.
Oh, that
on PC only. So you need to link and verify a cell phone number to the Bungie.net before being able to access those activities. And these activities are the high stakes ones that Bungie are calling high stakes, which are Trials of Osiris, Iron Banner, and competitive PvP playlists. And this is one of the ways that Bungie are trying to stop people from just creating an account, leveling it up, and then cheating. If people really want to cheat, they're still going to do it, but it's negating some of the cheaters.
It's just putting up another door in their way to say, you can create new accounts all you want, but you've got to also then figure out, get your alternate phone numbers, get a friend's phone number, verify this account somewhere somehow, and then go through the effort of getting banned for cheating, and then do it all over again. So at least it's slowing down the process. Yeah, I mean, it's just like you lock your house. If someone wants to get in your house, they're getting into your house. If somebody wants to cheat in Destiny 2, they're gonna find a way. Nature finds a way.
Jeez.
But it's just one of the many things that Bungie is doing just to slow things down, to make cheating a little bit better on the PC side, because that's where all the cheaters hang out. Sorry, cheaters.
And the rough thing about PC, and I found this out because I was playing a lot of PC Crucible this week. Is nowadays it's so hard to tell who is actually cheating.
Who's cheating and who's just that good. I have that thought on console where I'm like, okay, I'm pretty sure you're not cheating because we're all on the Xbox, but wow, you are incredibly fast. Wow, you are incredibly good.
And the worst thing are the guys that will slide in and snipe while they're still sliding, or slide jump and freaking tag you while they're slide jumping. And I'm just like, there's no way that guy's that good. And then I start playing with one of our PC guys called Pale Rider, who does that exact same thing. I'm like, what? And Fuzzco's like, no, Pale's that good. He does it all the time. I'm like, so what you're telling me is Pale is also cheating. Gotcha.
Is
it my social responsibility to turn him in?
Yes, it is. And this is where we also put the PSA out of, if you start getting weird texts from Bungie with a code, don't give the code to some random person or your friend asking you for it. Don't do it, because they're going to get your stuff blocked. Don't do it. Don't be that guy. But yeah, like every 6 months or so, I hit a shot in PvP or something that I have no business making, that I know is all the aim assist and the sticky reticle. Sure. I know it's all the game helping me, and I go, okay, this is what the good people do, but they know how they did that. I just got stupidly lucky and managed to kill that man when I had no right doing that. I was absolutely, when I was doing the Revoker quest, I would put on all of the sniper rifle buffs on every piece of armor. And I was getting sniper rifle kills. Again, no business getting. Absolutely no way. Where I'm like, nope, this is the game.
But you're also on console too, so you have that magnetism.
Totally. No, absolutely. That's what and that's where I play, and that's where I see the people hitting the crazy shots going, how did your bullet find me? Because your bullet will magnetize to my face, and it will find my face, and then I will have no more face.
It's about right, yeah.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah, so I mean, it's good to see Bungie. And again, this is not the only thing, but it's good to see Bungie doing more things and putting this piece out there that, hey, we're going to tell you about this to maybe dissuade some of the more casual, the filthy casual cheaters from trying to cheat. Again, if you really want to, you're going to, but it's one of the myriad of things they're rolling out to go, no, we're going to make this harder.
Mm-hmm.
I just want the all cheater lobby though. Just put them in a lobby against all the other cheaters and like drop a couple of thrall and a couple of ogres and knights in there, a couple of teleporting taking captains. That'll teach them. I think that's what Serious Sam used to do. In if you crack the game and you're trying to cheat, they would put like an unkillable monster that would just follow you all the time.
What?
Yes, yeah,
awesome.
Yeah. They'd spawn in something who would just like you'd be playing along, and all of a sudden, unkillable monster would show up. It would track you down and murder you, and you have to start the level again every single time. But it would sort of be random when he showed up, so it wouldn't be super obvious that's what was happening. And you people on the forums like, oh man, this thing is there, and they'd be like, and where did you buy your game, sir? Oh, I see. Yes, no, you didn't buy the game. Well, see, that's why.
Right.
So I just want Bungie to do that. Just give me, give me a penguin that waddles up to you and explodes behind you in PvP if you're cheating. Come on, just have fun with it. Give me something good.
Or if they detect somebody that's cheating, don't disable their account. Just make all of their damage equal 0.
No, Bungie aren't going to do that. They're not going to give you that. But
Come
I'll
on,
tell you what
man.
they are going to give.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to give money to charity. And that is going to lead us into Gaming to Give 2020, the fundraising campaign. They're Lightkeepers. So over the years, the community has proven time and time again that this game does good. We've acted as guardians of the world, providing aid to people in need, no matter the challenge. We're excited to announce our next initiative, partnering with Game to Give, starting on December 1st. Without further ado, we'll pass the mic over to the Bungie Foundation to run us through this wonderful event. So this is the second annual Gaming to Give charity event in support of the Bungie Foundation and the Children's Miracle Network hospitals benefiting sick children across the country. So this is in America. They'll invite the Bungie community to join us in the celebration of what can be accomplished together through gaming and giving. So starting today, whatever day that was, the 19th, we're inviting all our Bungie community members to sign up and host your own Destiny 2 fundraising stream between December 1st and December 13th. And they've got some incredible prizes for you at various fundraising milestones. So should we have a quick look at what the prizes are, guys?
We should.
Tell me.
We are absolutely streamers and YouTubers.
And
put it out.
Yeah, well, no.
If you hit the $500... Well, here, no. If you have it, go ahead, sir.
No, go.
People are here to hear your voice. You read it.
All right, ladies, somebody say it.
So if you hit the $500 fundraising milestone, you'll receive a code for you or a friend to unlock the Lightkeepers emblem in Destiny 2, and that's redeemable starting December 1st. And you're entered to win a Gaming to Give streamer bundle, including game capture card, HD webcam, the studio lighting kit. Winner notified after the campaign. If you hit $1,000.
Sorry, we hit some technical difficulties whilst recording. Please visit the link in the show notes to find out all the prizes.
If you are looking to stream, they have a little streamer toolkit with some overlays and some donation tools and video assets. So looking to set something up and promote it, they give you some tools that are, styled around this, and you can use in your stream. So as always, it's Bungie, it's charity. Watch some people, donate some money if you've got it. And we've got there are a couple of featured streamers. So kicking off on December 1st, Bungie's going to stream from 10 to noon Pacific. Then Ikagen from 12 to 4. Sarah Daniels takes the 4 to 8 shift, and Gigs goes from 8 to midnight. And there's a whole lineup of people after them. So if you want to go watch your favorite streamer, go see when they'll be streaming. We aren't one of them.
But if you do donate to one of the streams, a $25 donation will earn you the 2019 Miss Bloom emblem and the Gilded Shell Exotic Ghost. So if you missed them last year, this is your chance to pick them up this year. A $50 donation will earn you the above items plus the new Lightkeeper emblem. They all look pretty cool. $100 donation will earn you the 3 items above, and you'll also be entered into the Bungie prize loot pool. Prizes include GameStop Electronics Boutique Games gift cards, US and Canada only. So if I win, I pass it on to you guys.
You get nothing, you lose. Good day, sir.
Yes, Destiny 2 Beyond Light Digital Deluxe Edition and the Destiny 2 Beyond Light Physical Deluxe Edition. Best of all, 100% of the donations go directly to the charity. All in-game digital incentives will be automatically redeemed via donators' Bungie.net ID and will appear in the Destiny 2 Collections tab on the Tuesday after December 1st. This year, they've also partnered with the online fundraising platform Omaze. Gamers from around the world can enter for their chance to win $20,000 to create the ultimate gaming rig and support this fundraising initiative. More details will come leading up to our campaign's launch. And as we head into the holiday season, we want to extend our heartfelt gratitude for each and every one of you who continue to bring smiles, joy, and hope for all the little lights everywhere.
Let's talk loot.
Let's talk some loot.
I love loot.
I do appreciate that Bungie has given into the fact that this is cosmic ice too. They've stopped fighting the fact this is an ice class. You can call it whatever you want, but it's an ice class. Stasis is ice. The end.
Yes. Now, what about the loot?
Let's talk loot.
You promised me loot, and you're talking about stasis. Come on, what's my loot? Give me the loot.
I found a chest. Accessories? Glimmer! Oh, goody, goody. Let me try that one on. That's gonna look
Stasis. Stasis is your loot. Enjoy.
That's underwhelming.
Well, no, I mean, the development team, as Beyond Light has launched, they talked about tracking our feedback around loot, particularly weapons, and want to take a moment to let you know how they're processing it. And today we're going to talk mostly about the short term, with more information in the future about the long term, because that's how time works. Infusion caps were intended to help keep D2 evolving and ensure that every new release gives you new stuff and makes it relevant to the meta and actually makes you change your weapons out. You filthy people who use the same gun for 16 years in a row.
There's nothing wrong with that, sir.
And to that end, I mean, they are adding back a selection of weapons that will help alleviate the issue of the fact that you're getting rewards that are not actually rewards because they're already being sunset the moment you receive them. Like getting that Christmas present a year too late. They're also going to watch the landscape to see how the addition of the weapons changes from Season 12 and in this week's raid launch. And we agree that getting near-cap weapons from random world drops is frustrating. Thus, we are removing those from the pool and are weighing drops more heavily towards the newer weapons. So here with the November 24th, so coming on Tuesday, we'll call it Hotfix 3004, I'm guessing. If the numbers
after you've heard this podcast, hopefully, if you've downloaded this first.
Yeah, so by the time you're listening to this now, you should have, I am assuming, Hotfix 3.004 in your little Destiny hands, which will remove all legendary weapons that have hit their infusion cap at the end of the season.
Wait.
Hang on a second. They're not taking them out of my vault, are they?
Nope, they're taking them all away. They're removing all of them.
No. No, they're not.
No, they're not. No. These are changes being made to the World Legendary weapon pool. So they're not taking away any of your guns. They're not coming to your house and taking your guns. They're not coming to your vaults and taking your guns.
They keep threatening.
They keep threatening.
These are just from the world.
They're slowly working you up, Night Team, to the day where they do come for your guns and your children. But today, this is just
back to day one, Destiny Vault 1. You have 20 slots. Deal with it.
Yep, you have a New Year's gift, and that's all you need.
Ooh, no.
These are just changes to the World Legendary loot drop. These are weapons you get in the pool out in the world that are legendaries. So all those purple guns you're running around with out in the world, this is going to change. They're removing all the legendary weapons that have hit their infusion cap at the end of the season.
Mm-hmm.
They're adding all of the 7th Seraph weapons from Season 10, because for some reason we want more of those, I guess.
Well, the problem with that was that
we do. That auto rifle is amazing. So is a scout. So yes, we do. Sorry.
Yeah, unless you've played in the season of 10, you didn't get those weapons apart from random drops every now and then.
And it is on Game Pass now, and there are a lot of new Light Guardians out. So
exactly, and with the Warmind cells being part of builds, you need the Seraph weapons to help you with generating the wall mines to then explode the wall mines to do different things. So it's helping with that synergy, I guess.
Yeah, that seems fair. Good point. I don't know. Those are the seasons that I played a lot of, and I go, why are we going back to this? But that makes absolute sense. They're also adding all of the Season 11 seasonal and planetary reprisal weapons.
Good.
And they're weight dropping your chances so that a newer item is more likely to drop, and an older item is thus more or less likely to drop. More or less, just less likely. Words are hard, as we've discussed.
And they don't want to tell us the long-term strategy yet, probably because they haven't got one. So
their long-term strategy is, let's see how this goes.
Yeah.
See how angry everybody is, and then come up with a long-term strategy. Or honestly, their long-term strategy is probably, here are a couple of things we can do. Let's see kind of how this pans out, and just how the loophole works if people are. I have to imagine they have their team of data scientists, number crunchers. They're going, no. Here's what we're throwing to the world. Let's see who's using these guns. Let's see which guns get picked up. Let's see what people are enjoying, or if they're going back to the same 6 guns that they've been holding on to for 3 years now.
Look, I don't know what you said that sparked it in my brain, but you said something, and the image of the Destiny dev team sitting around a big table with D&D dice, right? And somebody just comes up with a thing, right? They're like, what if, fill in the blank, and they're like, okay, roll for initiative, see what happens, right? And he rolls, and it fails, right? So that's not in the game. The next guy comes up with an idea, and he rolls. Right? So
now we know
just
how
sitting around.
made.
They're just sitting around, and whatever ad lib of ideas won the rolls is what goes in the game, right? So Destiny dev team cracked. Let's go.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And so season 10, that's your season of the worthy. So those are all your 7th Seraph weapons. And then season 11, that was the last season, the season of arrival. So if you didn't get to spend quite enough quality time in season of arrivals, now you can get more loot from that season. Don't worry, it's a season that's never going to end.
Yeah, but last season you could customize in getting what you wanted out of the machine. Now it's just going to be random world drops. So you had more of a chance when the season was here, and the same with the 7th Seraph stuff. It's just going to be random drops. So you may get a good god roll. So
yeah, I mean, there's no reason not to. My buddy that just got back in the game last night saw my steel feather with subsistence and multi-kill clip. He goes, "What do you get one of those?" I'm like, I don't think you can anymore, dude.
I have to be there when.
Yeah. So hopefully they are coming back, and hopefully they'll raise all the weapons from the 1260 they are now up to like a 1310. Right? So I hope that happens too. Because right now, if you notice, all the Seraph weapons are at 1260. If they're going to be bringing them back like they say they are, I hope they raise the cap for all of them.
I don't think they're going to raise the cap. I think at least at this point, I don't think they're raising the cap. I think they're going to bring them back at whatever they're like capped at. That 3 seasons of viability. I mean, that could be part of their long-term strategy to say we're going to raise the cap for everything 6 seasons ago. We'll see how this pans out. I've seen a couple of the new weapons from this season, but definitely not a lot of brand new Europa Beyond Light stuff. But there's some stuff out there that I've gotten and have really enjoyed so far. So I'm hoping to get my hands on more of the new stuff and just see how it plays, because I'm really liking the new stuff they're seeing. There's what is this thing? There's a scout rifle I got to drop last night. What is this thing called? The Royal Chase. That thing hits like a truck.
Royal Chase. Which one is that one?
It's an attack scout rifle. Goes in your secondary slot. It's got mine roll with Dragonfly, all loading holster, flared magwell, and arrowhead break. Its impact is 62, and it just melts things.
And it's from this season?
It's from something I played last night.
Royal Chase. Gotcha. Yeah, mine. Oh, the one that I have full auto with Thresh. So that's my bad juju if I need something else in the first slot.
Ooh. This goes into the second slot, so that doesn't help you in the first slot, but that's okay.
No, that's what I'm saying. No, if I need something in the first slot, bad juju goes away, or if I need an exotic for something else, bad juju goes away, and I have the Royal Chase that has full auto and Thresh. So it's
so if you need it as an army in your primary slot.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Thresh is fun. That's one of those new perks I'm really enjoying. I've got a grenade launcher with Thresh on it.
Me too.
Killing combatants with this weapon generates a small amount of super energy. So I don't know how much it's helping me, but when I drop a grenade and just say a bunch of Thrall or a group of Taken, or I mean, a group of Vex, it's giving me a little bit of super energy. And what's not to love about that?
So let me ask you guys' opinion while we're on weapons, okay? Deafening Whisper, the new grenade launcher. Have you gotten it yet?
I've got one version of it.
Okay. So
no.
All right. So remember the 7th Seraph grenade launcher that sends fire across the ground?
Yep.
Same thing, but void. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm in.
But it's not doing void damage at the moment. Not sure if that's a bug or not.
Right. Okay. Well, be that as it may, it's supposed to be void. Okay. So
no, yeah, it's a void, and I think if you do a direct hit with it, it counts as a void attack. But if you fire it along the ground, I think it still comes out with a void flame, but it's not doing void damage.
Yeah, that is a bug. Yeah, but I got one of those, and it has surplus and wellspring. Now let me break it down to you. Surplus increases handling, reload speed, ding ding ding, and stability for each fully charged ability. Right? So for all of your abilities that are fully charged, this gun gets better. Wellspring. Kills with this weapon generate ability energy. This energy is divided between all of your uncharged abilities. So the gun feeds itself, right? I throw a grenade, I kill something with this, it helps fill up that grenade so it gets better again. I'm just like, this is so good. I love it.
And
it's
where
so
would
amazing.
one, if they didn't know how to play the game or know what to do, go and get one of these weapons? Where do you find it, Respawn?
Who gave it to me?
Who gave it to you?
Crow.
Who's the Crow?
Oh, that's getting into spoiler territory, buddy.
Well, you spoiled people last week.
So for everybody that doesn't know, the one formerly known as Aldrin Sov, right, is now a light bearer, not a guardian, a light bearer known as the Crow. Okay, and he has missions that you can do 5 per character per week, and each one of those has a chance to give you at light or I think 1 light higher. And then when you have enough reputation with him, his weekly reward when you do all 5 of his missions give you a pinnacle drop now, right? So anyway, it's kind of like, you know how you guys we all had the chalice, right? It's like the chalice. You slide in the weapon, you slide in what masterwork you want it to have, or you have a thing that's new which says, hey, it will not drop with this perk or this perk, but it will drop with one of these perks, right?
So if I'm new to the game, what are you talking about with Chalice? Explain it to me like I'm a 5-year-old.
Okay. So basically, you have this lure, okay? Like a fishing lure, except it's fishing for things that try to kill you, okay?
Okay, good, yeah.
And when you charge this lure, you can have up to 3 chargers, right? They have 3 slots in there.
What do you mean by three charges?
I don't know. You can use it 3 times before you have to go back and charge it again. There you go.
Okay. And how do you charge the lure?
I
am the lure.
Right now, you either do Crucible, Gambit, or Strikes. I'm hoping they have another way to charge it in the future because that's a rough grind. Anyway,
some kind of playlist activity.
Some kind of playlist activity, yeah, and it charges it. Mine gives me 50% every time I do a strike. It used to only give me 30%. I don't know why it gives me 50 now, but I'll take it.
So you are doing it wrong. Shall I tell you what you need to go and do?
Absolutely.
Okay, you load up the Lake of Shadows strike.
Mm-hmm.
The beginning part of it, the Widow's Walk, you know, where people were farming for the engrams last week to get higher power level?
Where do I find that strike?
You find that on the EDZ, sir. So the EDZ down in the bottom right hand corner, you load that up. So it doesn't matter if you're with a fire team or blueberries, preferably if you're with a fire team. If you're with blueberries, you can continue. Yeah, you can continue to do the strike if you really want to. But if you head as you get to the church, if you go left, there is a lost sector at the back down in the thing. It's called the Widow's Walk, and in there is a lost sector boss, which is a high value target for the moon stuff. And if you kill him and his little shanks that are around, I think there's about 4 that are generated, that will give you 40%.
40?
40. So just repeat that over and over again, and then come out of the strike.
So it's not the playlist activities; it's the things you kill in the playlist activities.
It's the high value bosses. They figured out, and I can't remember
targets you're looking for. So if you are playing Gambit, you only want the high value targets, basically. So get in with a team, start losing, have it spawn a bunch of high value targets, and farm them.
Right.
I can't remember who pointed it out. There was somebody that I'm sure I did write it down.
Someone on the internet.
So one of the videos I watched this week, I do apologise that I can't name whoever it was, basically said just go to that lost sector, kill the bosses over and over again. You can do it within 10 minutes, and then you've got like one fully charged lure.
Yeah, these weapons are also dropping from, and forgive me, it's something on Europa. I don't know if it's not the Spiders missions, Barracks missions, because I've gotten I haven't unlocked the Crow. I haven't touched the new Cosmodrome really yet at all. I've been hanging out on Europa, just working through the many quest lines. I'd almost forgotten how many quests you get at the beginning of a new Destiny season.
But they're different weapons. That's a different weapon set.
Oh, very good, sir. Yeah, I've seen people on the Tinkled Shore that threw a lure down and spawned a big acre thing that then ran away.
Yes, that's what happens when you use the lure. Okay, so let's get back on track.
I just want to interrupt quickly. So last night I was contacted by a Guardian who seemed very stressed and upset because he didn't understand where the Crow was, what the Crow was, and what to do. So I had to tell him there's a mission on the moon, a little blue shield that should be up in the top right-hand corner. Should be up in the top left-hand corner.
Is that the one?
And it will say
Osiris.
Yes. But this Guardian contacted me last night, didn't know what he was doing, bless him. So I informed him where to go, and that will kick off the quest to then go and help the Crow. And he
technically you help Osiris.
Well,
and then...
you help Osiris, you help the Crow. You're then transported to the Tangled Shore after that mission ends. You go and speak to Spider. He will then say, go and speak to the Crow. And then you're standing looking like, well, where do I go now? Literally to the left, a door has opened up from Spider, and you walk around the corner. The Crow is standing there. He will give you the lure, and he will give you information. Now, what I found quite funny this week was when I was doing my leveling of my characters, I picked up the lure, I'd inserted some of the different things, and then it got quite upset with me that I wasn't going to do the thing that it wanted me to do. And for several strikes, it just kept flashing up on the bottom screen. Please go and do this. Please go and do this. Please go and do this. And I was like, no, I want to do this before I need to go and do that, because I know what I'm doing to kind of power level my character. You don't, sir. So it will just continually flash up on the screen in a bar telling you what to go and do. So it will say, go to your quest. The quest tab will actually flash to let you know what to do. Go and select the item, go into it, and then that's where Respawn's got up to with telling you what to insert with different things. Now, each section of the lure, you can get these little runes to drop from doing Gambit, Crucible, Strikes, public events. Literally everything in the game has a chance to drop one of these runes that gives you a low, middle, or high tier version of itself. And you can also purchase other ones from the Crow himself. Much like a lot of the Destiny things these days, is that you go into a tab. When you speak to the Crow, you can level up your lure. You can get different rankings. You can get engrams from ranking up with said vendor as well, which also help you if you are power leveling. So yeah.
Okay, so he has a whole system of things you can power up on levels, sort of like Varix does with his hunts. So you can go do a hunt, get little bollies, bring them back to Varix. He'll give you a new hunt for a different bolly.
Mm-hmm.
Very good.
Yep, and then I think I just have the last one left to unlock. So I've gotten pretty far with him so far, and he gives you really good weapons. The downside is you have to purchase some of the mods that you want, like if you want a specific weapon or armor piece. And then you have to, purchase that. But explain this to me, Demon.
Yeah.
How come it always is different? Every time I open a lure to slot stuff, it's got different things there.
Well, it'll give you a selection of what you can actually get from the lure to start off with. So say it'll give you, initially when you start the quest part of it, it will say that you can have 2 of 2 powerful rewards which are selectable, and it'll give you randomized either helmets, gauntlets, chest, boots, or class item. So if you're power leveling, it's a good way of kind of maybe being able to select those different things, which is why I didn't want to select one of the things, because I needed to go and do a strike to see if I got something extra to power level myself that way, to then come back and go, right, okay, so it's gauntlets I need or a class item that I need. And what I found out on one of my characters when doing this hunt is if you then don't want to select a powerful reward and you go for the enhanced or the extra reputation booster, which you can also select in there, the little green like credit card symbol, if you select that rather than going for a powerful reward, you lose one of your powerful rewards. So
Wait,
don't do that.
what?
If you, yeah.
Hold on. No, say that again, because you were saying a lot pretty quick, and I was trying to keep up.
So he'll give you a selection to start off with. In the first column, it will say you can either have a chest or class item, and it'll also give you a lure modification drop, or like extra credits with him. Say that those are the ones that he's offering. Now, if you select the lure modification drop, or you select the extra credits with him, you lose one of the powerful rewards. Now, I don't know whether that's a bug or not, but I was thinking, because I need to do, if you do 5 of them, he gives you a powerful reward at the end of doing 5 hunts. So I was thinking, okay, so I need to go and do something on this character to level them up. I don't necessarily want to get that powerful reward yet, so I'll save it, but I still need to do like 4 or 5 of these to get to a certain level. So I'll save my powerful reward. But what I didn't realize is that selecting the button to say, okay, I'll just go for the extra rep boost with you and get those little green credit cards, it took away one of my powerful rewards.
Okay.
Which didn't, I mean, it didn't really affect me in the end because I was already kind of at that stage. But yeah, you select the item that you want. And if you'll say, like Respawn was saying, if you select your boots, you could go with a higher stat roll of boots, and then you can add, maybe you want more mobility, but you have to level up that character or level up the crow before you can select various different things. So initially, when you're starting getting into this process of building your character and selecting these armor pieces, it's probably best not to select any of these things, because you want to get to the right power level before you then start playing around with, okay, I want to go for higher stat roll armor with this in mind. And that'll give you a good couple of weeks to kind of go and play strikes, go and play Crucible, etc., and get these things to drop so that you can have more chances at rolls of these different things. So don't necessarily go ahead and do it straight away unless you want to, and kind of then have to get a really good powerful high stat roll and then just keep leveling that item up. It's up to you really, but it's probably best the other way around, because the more things that you play, the more things will drop. And what I found initially was quite a good thing of, rather than going and continuing leveling, I thought I'll go and do the mission with Crow to kick that off. And that actually helped, because this, so that I can generate these runes and collect them over time and continue power leveling, and then I'll come back to you and finish off that part of the quest.
I don't know about that, about the cards thing, so that's good to know. Although I don't really need powerfuls anymore, so anytime I see that rep, I'm gonna go for the rep, bro. I'm gonna do it.
Yeah, but then, like you were saying, people could re-roll again. It doesn't necessarily have just armor; he has the weapons as well. So there are several different weapons that he offers, and again, you can get those at powerful rewards. The 2 of the thing, and what I found is, once you get the reputation boost and you turn in the bounties. I think it's as you collect those bounties and you turn those into him, because again, he has weekly, daily, and then extra daily ones that you can pick up, and that will generate you rep. And I believe it was Astacross did a video and said, literally, I leveled up my character with the Crow in 3 hours just playing solo, which is quite good if you can do that. So leveling up that character, what I found was, as I was playing on my first 2 characters, by the time I got to my last character to level up, I was able to go to him and just level him up and get the engrams to kind of power boost my last character up to 1250, because they were kind of near the cap of what my character was. Plus, when I actually finished leveling up and I collected all the engrams that I could possibly get from him, it then gave me, on my last character, I now have 4 powerful rewards from doing that. So I have 4 chances at getting powerful drops from the crow, which is good because that will still get any extra items I want up to 1250. So I think the higher you power level him, the more chances you get of powerful drops later on. And powerful drops will always, if you're at 1250, they will drop at 1250 or whatever your light level is. So if you've managed to get past that power level soft cap, I guess. So if you're 1252 on your gear stat, it will then start dropping items at 1252, and that's how you kind of get yourself in line up to 1260.
So if you have not unlocked the crow yet, because you see that mission on the moon and go, I don't need to start a new quest, is that a long quest line to go help Osiris on the moon, or is it just sort of a one and done? Because that's a one and done.
Yeah.
My hesitancy is like, go start this quest. Okay, well, I'm always like, well, can I do that? Or is that going to be, 17 quests later, 6 hours, I'm going, well, you're halfway through. You just have to do this and this and this now.
What makes it long is the crow's missions. So like I said, you have to do a charge, right? And on average, every strike gives you about a third, and every crucible gives you about a third, right? So on average, you'd have to do 3 activities to fill 1 charge, and you can hold 3 charges, right? So 15 activities for 3 charges, and then you got to spend those charges and then go back and get 2 more for the crow. So you're looking at about 25 playlist activities to do crow.
I think that's if you're doing the lower playlist activities. If you start doing nightfalls, I think 1 nightfall or even a 12-20 nightfall counted as like 1.5. I think it depends on what's actually the strike.
You can absolutely min-max it, but that's why I said on average. This is what you would get if you would just, no-braining it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. If you're just running around playing the game. So you said, if I'm playing Gambit or if I'm doing strikes, I want those powerful, high-value targets and things, yellow bars. It, if I'm playing Crucible, is it just, go kill Guardians? Like, say, if Mayhem's up this week, because Mayhem's up this week?
Yeah.
I didn't kill a lot of Guardians my last round, and I got 33%, usual. So I think that's just like a match completion?
Okay. Yeah. Well, because, by the time this show is out, Mayhem will be gone, but...
Yeah. But what I'm saying is go and pick up the lure first.
Yeah.
Do that opening mission. It's quite quick. You then have the lure. You then have the chances of powering up the lure. You also have the chance of getting those runes to drop that also can then be slotted in further on down the line. So it's like a collection game to start off with.
Nice. Yeah, that's one thing. I've been trying to use my limited time to go, okay, where can I sort of make the most progress? Can I get through the campaign? I saw, go over here and help Osiris, buddy. Later. That's a later problem, so cool. Yeah, there's so much of this season I have not even touched or dove into yet at all, and I'm very excited to do so, but there's a lot, and there's not much.
Oh, Peroty's getting raid ready. Let's go!
Yeah, I'm getting there. I've definitely not been min-maxing, and of course not been playing multiple characters.
Yeah,
I'm just playing the game and enjoying the season, and had a good time laughing my head off.
That's all that matters, really.
Yeah. G-Dad blinded me last night. I went to inspect his character. Dear friends, if you have the oiled algae shader, oh my god, it's on the final tab of these seasonal shaders. I don't have it. It apparently came from Eververse at some point. I couldn't tell you when. It makes you very shiny. I mean, I went to inspect his character. I could not see his shoulders. I could not see his helmet. We may have brought a team of oiled algae guardians into Mayhem and into Gambit because you can't see the people if there's light on you. It's that bright. It's that blinding.
Where's it at? Last tab of seasons?
On seasonal. It's like on the last tab or maybe second to last tab, depending on what shaders you have.
I have something called Biolume. That's not it, though, huh?
No, it's oiled algae. I couldn't tell you.
Oh, that's oiled gunmetal. Never mind.
I couldn't tell you that oiled algae is the brightest substance on Earth. Yet here we are. It is. It's amazing.
Huh. I guess I do not have that.
Yeah.
For seasons, huh? No, just not.
It came from Eververse at some point because I had to ask because I am also missing it. And now that I'm sad, I am because it is the brightest shader, and I wish.
Either way, it wouldn't do me any good anyway because my hunter's tactical, not bright and shiny.
No, sir, you're doing it wrong. Because see, if they can't see you, they can't kill you.
So instead of being tactical and blending into your environment, you just reflect light like the sun. I see. Bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see how it plays out.
Plays out great because if they can't see you, they can't kill you.
I think it's possibly that it came from Season of Dawn last year.
Yeah, might have.
It looks like the Season of Dawn's emblem on it. I'll have to have a look at it.
Yeah. I ran with an iridescent pretty bright, which I think came from prior to Dawn with all the Vex, whatever that season was called, which is pretty bright, but it's not bright enough. So yeah, if you want to be blinded, I have not inspected a player and then could not see the player's helmet because it was so bright.
So one might say that it might be a bug in the game. So could you tell us how we would banish some of those bugs, Peroty?
We would have hotfixes. We have hotfixes. They come in, they banish all the bugs. And right now we have more bugs. As you've been talking about bugs, we're going to bash some of those bugs. Not all of them. We have a big list of bugs we're going to bash.
Bug bash. It was the bash.
Bash. I have seen Bungie putting this in a couple places this week of if you're not able to get to some of the new content, like say if you're a season pass owner, if you're doing free to play, if you have this on Game Pass. So the Season of the Hunt activities and story content are unlocked for season pass owners. So if you don't own the season pass, you're not going to get it. In order to access the season intro mission, players should make sure they have completed the initial Forsaken and story mission campaigns, which are free to play. So if you aren't seeing some of that content, see if there are any campaigns sitting there in your inventory that you need to get through and get done. Because if you haven't done the older campaigns, you can't play the new campaigns. Players should also make sure to have space in their quest inventory prior to talking to the spider or the crow in order to access their seasonal quests. I'm guessing there's a bug if they don't. They are currently investigating an issue causing players who have acquired the seasonal artifact before completing the new light tower introduction to be blocked, and they'll be blocked from progressing in the Season of the Hunt and story missions. New light players should be sure to complete the full tower introduction story mission prior to picking up their seasonal artifact from Zavala's office. And again, they're always looking at reports and seeing what else is broken. Players who encounter an issue with their Season Pass expansions beyond light character boosts are encouraged to view our Purchase Destiny add-on helps article. They will give you steps to help mitigate your problems. For some reason, if you haven't gotten off BattleNet yet, pause for why are you still on BattleNet? You have until beginning December 1st at 9 a.m. Pacific to log into the Blizzard's BattleNet account because it'll no longer be possible after that. Nor could you migrate your account to Steam. So if you've been putting off the migration to Steam for some reason, if you still have a Battle.net account you want to use for Destiny, move it to Steam. Embrace the future. The time is now. All right. Sit back. Do you have your tea? Respawn? Do you have your coffee? Do you both have your fuzzy slippers?
I have water I have oatmeal.
I've got fuzzy slippers.
Well, there we go. Put your fuzzy slippers on. Sit back in your plush chair. We have some known issues. You notice from the fact that we have had a couple of hotfixes so far, we've got some known issues. So there's an issue where the Vanguard Strike playlist difficulty was unintentionally set to 1100 power. We're developing a fix to reduce the recommended power of strikes to 1050, where it should be. The Exos Rangers Weekly Challenge was mistranslated in languages other than English. Players will need to defeat combatants with or affected by stasis off of Europa. Don't know what it told you to do, but it was wrong.
No, that happened to me too, and it bugged me for so long. And then Az came in and says you have to do it off Europa. I'm like, it doesn't say that anywhere. So yeah,
it does.
It does now.
What language are you playing the game
in? Can't tell you that.
Florida. Florida is not its own language, Florida man. I'm sorry. You don't get your own language yet. Now, see, they say this is a bug, and I feel they should keep this in. Sparrows on Europa are not properly despawning. Leave them. it's great. It gives it a whole like North Carolina cars by the side of the road feel.
I mean, does it though? I just think it lets me know that there's other people out there doing the same activity I'm. It gives me a sense of community.
Yeah,
you know,
it gives me a sense of people being around, and I like that.
Yeah.
I thought it was something they changed, and I sort of hope they keep it that way.
Same.
Meleeing as a Titan while using the Stasis subclass can result in a visual of multiple rapid punches. So if your friend's telling you that he's punching super fast as a Titan, no, it's just an animation stutter. He's not doing more damage. The lift tubes in the Warden of Nothing strike can close before all fire team members are successfully through. Yes, they can.
Every daggum time. And it kills you!
Yep.
Why is that still in? It's been in for years!
Yep, that happened to me. I was running with 2 blueberries and it killed 2/3 of us, and the third guy somehow got through. Just in case you do get through the powerful lift tube in the Warden of Nothing strike, it can also fully drain your super energy.
I did not know that.
Use your super before you go into the lift tube that's going to kill you anyway.
The reason it is closing, so that because you're not telling them why it's closing. What happens is the first guy goes through, and it starts the next engagement. Well, when the next engagement goes through, it closes that hole. That's why it's closing. It's not random.
Right. I'm not telling them why it's closing because that's not the bug. It's just closing too soon. Premature closing. If you're trying to play the Warsat public event on Heroic in the Moth
Yards.
Try again.
Math class. Hard. See, I'm just thinking about math class in the raid. The Warsat Heroic public event in the Moth Yards of the Cosmodrome doesn't count as completions for objectives. So you can do it for old time's sake, but not to push anything forward. Yellow subtitles will appear as white even when the yellow option is selected. The Braytech RWP MK2 no longer appears as owned in collections for some players. You've lost it, it's gone. Bungie is taking your gun away.
Uh-oh, it has started. Uh-oh, demon.
High-value target reward chests do not grant the proper amount of glimmer. I don't know if it's too high or too little, but it's not the proper amount. The hologram, the Stella Incognito Bond, and the Bond of Last Departure ornament bounce aggressively. The eyes on the Phenotype Plasticity mask no longer glow red. The Adored cannot be acquired from collections. So if you've gotten through the quest to get your Adored sniper rifle, don't delete it because you can't get it back yet. If you have in-game PlayStation friends lists, they're missing a large amount of your online friends.
That's because you're on the wrong platform.
Right?
Yeah, see, don't be on PlayStation. Your friends aren't there. They just don't want to talk to you. Oh, hey, this is a bug I saw last night that I was going to send to Respawn. Player heads may not render when inspecting players in the tower. I inspected your hunter, and your hunter had no head.
Yeah, you told me.
Later Crucible rounds may display an inaccurate round timer. So kill quickly, because time is... we're all now.
Oh.
The Vest of the Great Hunt clips through the Moonfang X7 cloak. The Titan Shiver Strike and Glacial Quake melee may have inconsistent hit registration. Boy, May have, absolutely does.
Punching. Say again? I didn't hear what you said.
The punchy no worky on Titan.
Oh, I think
like
I might
the
have figured
super
that
punchy or the regular punchy?
The regular punchy, I think.
The Shiver Strike and the Glacial Quake melee. So D, all of the above.
Oh, goodness.
I think I might have figured that out. You don't have to run to punch somebody. You can just push it like a normal punch and it'll do that like Superman punch forward without having to run and charge it up.
Yeah, you can absolutely do that. And sometimes you'll hit
I didn't realize that.
Oh, yeah, no, you can hit the button and it will absolutely charge you forward, possibly off a cliff, possibly right by
yeah, definitely.
I have frozen many people and then raced right by them off to my death.
Yep. I think they should leave it as is. Just saying. Yeah, if hunters have to aim everything precisely, so do Titans.
Reaching power level 1200 may result in a new adventure pop-up, even though adventures are no longer... Hey, I did see that, and I saw an adventure, and I told the game, no, good to know I don't have to. An incorrect amount of orbs of power may drop than what is displayed to have dropped when defeating enemies with a masterworked weapon. So, some orbs will drop, it will tell you some other number of orbs have dropped. These are not the same numbers. In survival, players may not enter into overtime when both teams have an equal amount of lives remaining.
What? Say that again?
In survival, players may not enter into overtime when both teams have an equal number of lives remaining.
Yeah, that happened to us yesterday. They called it a draw and then gave the win to the other team.
Tie goes to the runner, I guess. Good to know.
Not a draw. They called it a tie. You're right. They called it a tie, but then gave it to the other team.
And said you lost. Sorry.
Yeah. I mean, we won overall, but that was sad. That made me sad.
Good to know what happens when you hit that bug, because I wasn't sure. Your PlayStation remote play controls may no longer function for some players. Your Mida Mini Tool and Drain cannot accept weapons for their Baroque versions. Cannot accept ornaments for their Baroque versions. The Fallen Empire and the Stasis Fragment quest can be purchased even with a full inventory. Don't know where they go, but you can do it even when it's full.
They go to the Postmaster, and that's how people are farming weapons on Europa. Not Astrocross.
Yes.
It was either Astrocross or Fallout.
Cheese.
No, I didn't watch any cheese this week, so that's not where I got it.
Right, you are banned from the show, sir.
That's fine.
No,
this was.
You watch a cheese
video.
It
was Rick Cactus. That's who it was. It was the cactus.
No.
They all get their information from cheese.
Yeah.
I'll have a video in the show notes if you are interested in double and tripling up on the Empire Hunts to get lots and lots of weapons.
Quadrupling. Tippling.
Completing one of these will complete all of them, but it will, if you're doing the Empire Hunt missions for the for Varix, it'll only count as one specific mission. So even though it'll give you lots of weapon drops, it will only still count as one for the multiple. But still give you weapons.
Well, you both are talking over each other a lot. I don't know if you know that.
Sorry. Oh, for the Varix Sabotage, that's what it's called, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, absolutely. Just like your participant kill audio plays in the Crucible, even when not involved in a player kill. Yeah, because I've been hearing that sound a lot going, but I'm nowhere near anybody. If somebody else cast a super and you still get the person, you still get the you killed the guy sound.
Yeah, I thought I was doing really well.
Wrong.
No, 19 when you're still doing well, buddy. Good job.
Can you tell which one of us is the positive and negative, guys? I'm immediately, you're wrong, and he's like, you are.
There's still an increase in arugula errors for players completing the Beyond Light campaign. In the Inside Terminus strike, Kargan will continuously perform ground slams and not allow players to progress past the conflict space. So, Inside Terminus strike, broken. The Combat Drills bounty says requires clash kills, but it actually requires kills and elimination. So that's fun. If you're trying to get your Combat Drill bounty done and you can't, you're in the wrong game mode. Players may be directed to reacquire the seasonal artifact from Zavala's office when they already have it in the because Zavala was unimpressed with your performance, Guardian.
Ooh.
Garden of Salvation and Crown of Sorrow Warlock armor sets are not visible in collections. Visible, you can't see them. And the unsecured / outcry ship has a rocket engine effect floating behind the ship model.
It's a feature, not a bug.
Just like non-despawning sparrows. And that has been your known issues. Bungie will fix the ones you don't want them to fix and not fix the ones you want them to fix because that's the Respawn rules. And yeah, that's been your known issues for the week. There are many of them. It's Destiny 3, guys. There's known issues. Things are broken, they'll fix them. That's life.
Eventually. Maybe.
Oh, Respawn. We've had a request. Could you do the Twab song?
Twab song?
Does anybody not know?
Oh, the twab, 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 twab. Twab, 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 twab. That's all I know. Sorry.
That's the twab you normally say.
I can't remember. Look, guys, for the most part, whenever I do these dumbass ditties, it's usually just off the cuff. So when people ask me to repeat something, that has long been forgotten how I did it or what I said.
Unrepeatable bounties have been
Let's move on to the Respawn's Report Roundup then.
Respawn's Report Roundup, which I accidentally just closed. Oh my God, you had me Googling Respawn's Roundup. Damn it.
Destiny Roundup.
I was like, what is our show? Why is our show popping up? What the hell? Oh, yeah. I'm a dummy.
Roundup.com and it pointed over there for you.
Right. All right. So here we go. Cosmo. Things under investigation / noted issues. Returning players not getting Prime Ingrams to drop and having no Prime attunement. That's lame.
That's because you left the game and you didn't stick with us. So you're now being punished. Ha ha.
Not being able to pull Adored from collections. We already said that. Playlist Pinnacles not dropping above 1250. Did notice that. Very disappointed. Kill confirmed. Beep sound being obnoxious. Kind of like what you said, but better worded.
Yeah, that's one.
Game claiming that players never collected Braytech RWP. That is a Twitter link. What is RWP?
We went over that just now.
Okay, fair enough.
Already just said that.
Other feedback, I will bring the suggestion to provide better avenues of grinding Ascendant Shards for solo players. They want to keep Ascendant Shards valuable where it feels good to earn one. Cosmo will ask if they Cosmo will ask if they can consider adding one that's more easily obtained by solo play on a weekly cadence. Isn't that just the Nightfall? Because it's all like match made now. So go do Nightfalls.
Yeah, no, but the golf balls. Maybe if they put them in the heroic lost sectors, so that it may have a chance to drop one of those instead of maybe an exotic, because you might already have all the exotics.
Those, yeah. Good call.
Yeah,
good call. Because as soon as you have all the exotics, you have no reason to go back in there. So that is a good way to keep people going in there, buddy. Good job.
Well, you do if you want different roles, but if you're not that kind of player like Peroty, and you've got the one thing that you want, but you want the stuff to infuse into it, then that'll give you...
He's not wrong. That is factual.
Yeah.
I have one. I love it. I will keep it forever, except for Syntheseps. I will continue to buy them every time Xur sells them because I want all of them.
Even if he's got one that has like mobility and freaking something else that he doesn't need, right?
Dude, Thesis is all mobility now. Titans are all about mobility.
I lost my spot.
Heir Apparent.
Heir Apparent was not intended to be. We keep saying this. We know it wasn't supposed to be there. Get it. If you got it, great. If you didn't, oh well.
Yeah,
okay.
No, but it's coming in a future event, so that's why it was removed from the kiosk. So stay tuned for the announcement.
They are definitely sharing everyone's feedback on a world pool, max power level, stasis, and other hot topics we are seeing with the rest of the team. Reddit link. Team is definitely monitoring the community's response to stasis and will also keep an eye on the data as it comes in to inform future tuning to the new abilities. Okay. DMG. Feedback. Also, hold on, wait. Take a drink. Sorry, forgot. You gotta take a drink.
Oh, I've missed that.
Yep. Okay, cool. Feedback. Issues not being swept under the rug. The community managers are passing up the feedback, and the team has been reading the thoughts of players. Feedback on loot, power caps, etc. is heard. Take another drink. 2 in a row, guys.
Most take a sip of tea.
No, take a drink. Hard whiskey or vodka or whatever your choice is. I don't know.
Can't drink before the raid race.
They understand the comparison to previous releases and even the amount of weapons that were recently phased out. The team is looking to make the weapon players earn more exciting, and they're already looking for loot for future seasons. Hold on 1 second, guys. I forgot to do something important.
In the podcast or in your personal life?
Personal life.
Respawn forgot to clock in and out for work the previous day, so we had to wait 10 minutes for him to figure it all out. You guys, on the other hand, only have to wait out a few seconds of this elevator music.
All right, anyway, moving on. Most of the new content is focused on Beyond Light in the Season of the Hunt. Doi, thank you. They understand the comparison to... You know what? Take a drink just because of that sentence right there.
The new content focuses on, get this,
the new content, yeah. They understand the comparison to previous releases and even the amount of weapons that were recently phased out. I already said that the team was looking to make the weapons and players more exciting, and they're already looking for loot and features. My bad. I read that whole thing. So they acknowledge that much of the free content got transitioned into the DCV, aka Destiny Content Vault. I remembered, shut up. They sought to replace this with Cosmodrome returning to the fold and creating the new light on-ramp quest to better get players into the game. It does not replace the free raid content, and that is feedback that they'll get to the team. Take another drink. Stasis and PvP feedback is heard and is being monitored. Take another drink. They are trying to get you guys wasted already. Make sure to post to the help form on Bungie.net if you're encountering performance issues. The loss of Forsaken Shadowkeep loot is felt. Thank you for feeling that. You know what? Take away a drink just because of that sentence. Getting a sniper that is available in Legendary Ingrams during the Beyond Light story quest was rough. What is with these? It's like, hey guys, getting the sniper is rough. What? That doesn't tell us anything. Are you fixing it? Have you fixed it? Is there?
Yes, they said in the next patch, didn't they? They're going to sort things out.
Gosh. There were like links.
But right here.
You could
okay, that's a Reddit link, but I'm not going to sit here and read the whole Reddit article. Make it snippy, make it snappy, so that I can read it to the people. Come on.
If you collect your own roundup, you can have a proper roundup. If not, you rely on the roundup kindness of strangers.
Fine. Then somebody out there educate me on how to use Twitter and Reddit.
We haven't got all day.
I tried to navigate that rabbit hole one time, and I ended up on a website that was like I forgot what it was called, but it was like every person in the world is only 7 people away from no, every topic in the world is only 7 topics away from like Hitler or something like that. I'm like, what do you know? So anyway, that's a rabbit hole I don't want to go down. So somebody help me navigate that nightmare. We've been pushing for more backed updates to enable us to hit bugs as they arise. Over the last few seasons, we've been able to make quick server-side changes to address issues, and this fell into that bucket. Another example was when we updated the drop rates for cipher keys during FOTL. Some issues, though, still make time to investigate. Create a fix, test a fix, and push live. Always looking to improve, though. Reddit link.
FOTL is Festival of the Lost.
Right. Forwarding the issue of trace rifles no longer having an ammo finder perk. Reddit link. That's kind of a big one to just forget. Like, oops, we have this whole weapon class in the game that we can't do anything with. Anyway, Necrotic Grip working together with Thorn is intended. Oh my God. Look, we've discussed this before, but now that I've seen it in action, if it wasn't for my unyielding love of Hunter, I would be a Warlock.
Let's move on.
No,
let's move on.
No.
Warlock Monster Race.
No. On 6 Warlock Stasis Boss Barat. On 6 Warlock Stasis Bosch. But
just skip it. Just skip it.
I'm gonna say this. On 6 Warlock Stasis Boss Barrage. Well, Twitter link.
That's why that's DMG just saying those 2 words to footage of, I think, The Last Wish Riven. They went in with 6 Warlocks and they were just like, hi, we're here. Oh, you're dead now.
Yeah, it was literally 1 second kill. It was ridiculous.
Yeah. The Warlock sneezed in the direction of the raid boss and said, no, we're done here.
Sir, you're dead. Anyway, that's it for the roundup.
Oh, I have one thing to add to that. DMG has said that the new worldwide skating with the sword is going to get patched. So if you are skating around with the Worldline 0, the new skating that you can do, he has officially said it's going to be patched, unfortunately.
Well, they have a Hunter skate now. I don't know if you guys have seen that, but
they have a Titan one as well.
Do they?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a whole season about ice, so of course they're skating. It's ice skating.
You know, that makes sense. I don't even know why they're patching it. What the hell's wrong with you, Bungo?
And DMG would just like to remind his friends. He says, do not, my friends, become addicted to meaty twabs. They will take hold of you, and you will resent their absence. Seriously, though, many thanks to everyone who contributed to the blog this week. Lots of moving parts, lots of folks helping it across the finish line. tons of lore drops. Yeah, it was not a big, deep, meaty TWAB, but we got lots of lore and lots of bug fixes because Bungie is doing their best and passing things along to the team.
Indubitably.
Yes.
I love that word. Indubitably.
Now, I think we might have a tip, a trick, a build, and a guide for you.
Just one
of each. Just one of each.
Just
yeah,
one.
because it's a slow week. You know, there's not much going on.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, nothing's happened. There's no raid race. There's no content drop. It's fine. We're good.
Honestly, I will apologize now that there isn't that many videos this week compared to what could be available. There's so much going on in the game, and we've all been playing it so much and enjoying it, apart from Peroty.
Hey, I've been enjoying every last second of it.
Yeah, no, but I mean playing it's lots.
I took
so yeah,
Gambit. Gambit's good now. Even people who don't like Gambit agree. Gambit is good.
Again, that's the reason why I've been racing to get to the power cap, so that I can then go back and go, right, I'm doing this part of the quest, or I'm doing this. This video will help, and hopefully it will help somebody else further on down the line. And like I said earlier on the podcast, with the lures and the tips with that, of not wasting your powerful rewards, little things like that. It's only when you come up against it you find these things out, which are interesting.
Yeah,
like
that's why you're doing that.
It's for science.
Okay.
And if my wife listens to this, it's for science. It's for the podcast.
Absolutely.
So as Respawn got quite excited about, the Thorn is pairing with the new Warlock's gauntlets, the Necrotic Grips. And Aztecross has a really cool video of showing how they synergize. Basically, if you get a kill with a Thorn while you're wearing the new Warlock armor piece, it will count as the poison spreading. So if you get a kill with Thorn and they die from the damage tick and they go near their teammates, that will then spread the poison to their teammates, and you could literally wipe out the whole team. Really good in PvE, really good in PvP. And
it is strong poison damage too. It's not Thorn poison damage. This is nutty poison damage.
Yeah, and with the change with Thorn, the archetype being changed, it's a really, really good hand cannon. I've seen a lot of people try and use it in Crucible at the moment. So, as I said, Aztecross has got a really good video for that. If you are interested in maybe looking at somebody else's point of view on the Wrathborn Hunts, he has a guide for that. He also has a guide on the Ace of Spades, or not a guide, PvP review on the Ace of Spades, because it has been changed with its archetype to the 140 RPMs. It's got a little bit more range than some of the other 140s, 150s that were kind of brought into that archetype, and it is doing really, really good in PvP at the moment. So if it's one that you can pick up, it might be one worth for you to look at and see how to use it.
Just confirmed, the Corsair's Wrath apparently can also drop with Thresh. Yummy.
Which gun is that?
Linear fusion rifle.
Okay.
So if you are interested in knowing the other subclass changes with the Stasis, Fallout Plays has got a guide for the Shadebinder, the Behemoth, and the Revenant. So if you are playing on one of them and you want to see what the others can do or what they can't do, Fallout's got a kind of good guide on each one of those, and I'll link those in the show notes. He also has one on the Icefall Mantles. He does a good breakdown of what you can do and what you can't do. I was quite interested in seeing this because I thought if I popped the Icefall Mantles, I'd be walking around like a tank. You literally are walking around like a tank. You are slow as anything. You cannot jump. You cannot run. But in certain situations, I could see where it'd be quite useful. So if you have
like a boss phase, perchance, maybe?
If you have 100% resilience and you're kind of got this, then you can literally generate it. Your shield doesn't regenerate. Oh, the barrier shield doesn't regenerate until it's finished the overshield. But that's quite interesting. And something else that synergizes quite well with the Icefall Mantles that Cheese Forever points out in one of his videos is that the Heir Apparent with the overshield works with the Icefall Mantles.
Oh so my god!
You can have
so
infinite
stand and deliver. You can stand and deliver.
Did this just make Titans viable in PvE again? What?
Only if they have to stand in one place. If we have to move, no.
Boss phase, yeah. That's what you do during the damage phase.
Stand here in the well and deliver all the pain.
You can get a double overshield with infinite time on the Icefall mantles. There are several caveats to that, but in Cheese's video, he shows you how to do it, and it works in PvP and PvE. Think about that, Respawn. PvP.
Oh, yeah, no, I know. As soon as I saw that, like before it was even out, I knew that was going to be a headache. But yeah,
the only problem in PvP is it does require heavy. So, but
and all you have to do away from it is just walk on the other direction.
Oh God! Imagine trials. Oh my God! Imagine trials with a literal tank titan just slowly, menacingly walking towards your entire team with a spinning gun. Oh no! I don't want to take it back.
As we mentioned earlier, Cheese Forever has a video on what happened with the infinite time and double invader glitch, which has now been patched. There is a ghost mode glitch that you can walk through the Glassway Nightfall and all of Europa in this ghost mode, and he's got a guide on how to do that. Titan zooming. So this is a stasis glitch in PvP flying. That's interesting. Yes. He also has an infinite stun the boss gambit glitch as well that still seems to be working. So if you want to stun that boss and take them down really quickly, Cheese has got a video for that. And as we mentioned,
Salvation Grip grenade launcher to freeze the boss and make them sad.
Nope, you don't need that. You just need to punch the boy. Just punch them. As long as they've got legs, it'll work. So meatball, no meatball.
As long as you can punch them and the hit registers, you're good.
So since we're talking about Gambit and boss damage, I haven't lost a Gambit this week, and I'll tell you why. Right? Are you ready for this? Are you ready for this? Here we go. Ready?
Leave it on your Titan.
Fallen Guillotine. That's it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Every time the boss comes up, we kill the witches. I've killed the boss before the witches come back every phase. Yeah. I'm doing 100k damage, just me, with the Fallen Guillotine. It's insane.
Still really good.
Yeah. So if you have, I don't know, maybe more than one Fallen Guillotine on the team, you could kill it faster. ...
And the last Cheese Fair video was 4 times the loot in the Empire Hunts, which we mentioned earlier. If you want to kind of do that, he explains how to do it and what it kind of gives you.
Not like 4 times the loot.
Yeah. So, also, Jarv has, as I mentioned, the dead exo locations for the Lament quest, which you can't do at the moment, but he has the locations ready for you when that goes live. And did you know from doing the Wrathborn Hunt, you can get the Leviathan's Breath, the exotic heavy bow catalyst to drop, and he's got a guide on how to complete that.
Wait, what? Say again?
Hey, Respawn, the happiest boy.
No.
Leviathan's Breath.
Yeah.
The heavy bow.
Yeah.
The catalyst is dropping from doing the Wrathborn Hunts.
Oh, I've just done like 20 of them.
Exotic catalyst.
It's not dropping from the first one you do. It's dropping from the Wrathborn Hunts. So you have a chance at getting it from there. So you have to do more to get it to drop. And Jarv has a guide for you for how to do that and finish it off.
I'm not reading today. I'm hunting for that thing all day today.
He does say in his video, is it the highest DPS for bosses? So it may be worth you grinding it out because it may be something that you could take into the raid. Because it does have one of the perks, doesn't it? Is it the Overload or Unstoppable or something?
Yeah, it stops Unstoppables.
There you go. So it is worth doing if you can do it. Now, if you are a new light player or you're just a player coming back to the game and you're wondering, what exotic should I purchase from the Monuments to Lost Light kiosk in the tower? Because, if I was a player that was coming back to it, I'd be going, well, there's all these wonderful guns that are sitting in here.
Well, it depends. What do you do? Do you do PvP? If you're going to do PvP, Not Forgotten right now is broken.
See, we don't listen to Respawn. You know what we say? Respawn, that's not an exotic, and that's not what the topic of this video
I don't care.
was.
Spend your money on that. Doesn't matter.
No, you don't spend your money on it.
What you do is you watch a video made by Datto.
And you go get the anarchy.
Because Datto is the king of putting these videos together.
And then you get anarchy from the kiosk, unless you already have anarchy. Then you get Izanagi's, unless you've already got Izanagi's.
Anyway.
You can't buy the anarchy because you don't have any of the raid materials.
Datto has a video giving you his views on what weapons you should purchase first. And he does mention the Anarchy, which was the exotic grade launcher from the Scourge of the Past. But what he did also mention was that he did 2 raids this week. I think he said he'd done a Garden and a Last Wish. And he got 24 tokens. So these are the Spoils of Conquest tokens to drop. So roughly 12 tokens per raid. You need 240 to purchase Anarchy at the moment. Yep. So
get you grinding.
Get raiding. Don't know, as Datto says, he doesn't know whether you'll get more spoils in the new raid compared to the old raids. Possibly not. But it just gives you something to do time and time again. Oh, I found a really good one for you, Respawn. This would be good for you if you do make it through the whole raid today. Arlo has got the raid ghost locations. So these are like little tabs that you find in the raid, and where people have glitched into them, they can actually pick up the raid ghost now. So this will give you all the locations to pick up these data pads to then get the raid ghost. So he's got all the locations. This is Arlo. This is somebody new that I found. Quite interesting. And as I mentioned at the beginning of the show, Abbey Hour has the Beyond Light number 2 penguin location. So if you are searching for the penguins, and I think these are going to be weekly. So maybe they'll put one in the game each week and they'll all be there in 8 or 9 weeks' time. But she's got the location for number 2. And she also got another helpful video on the Wyvern. These are these horrible Vex things on the crit spot and how to take these down pretty quick.
Pop it once, opens a crit spot, then you pop it again. It's not complicated.
I found in the Nightfall ordeal this week that I ran with the Xenophage, and that took him down very quickly. So that was quite nice. I saved my Xenophage for that last bit and just took down all the Wyverns. So my team were very grateful because they died many a times. So it was kill them, revive my teammates. Another one for you, Respawn, because I know how much you like bows. So the new bow that you can get from Verix, the Biting Wind, Patacakes Gaming has got a video on this one, and this one has got Swashbuckler on it, and he shows you in gameplay in PvP him basically getting, I think he got a melee to start off with, so it was quite cool, but he was getting like one shot every other Guardian that was spawning or trying to charge him down. Really, really good. So this may be something that you'd want to look out for.
Yeah, I have that role. I have one that's got that, and it's coupled with what is it? Wellspring. Hold on, give me a second. It's got this thing that I'm mentioning right now. Surplus, not Wellspring. Surplus. So that of course increases all of the handling and range and all that other stuff. So pretty good. I got it. I like it. The only thing I don't like about it is how long it takes to pull back. It's got like exotic bow draw time, and I don't like that.
Yes, but if you can one-shot people in PvP, that'd be really useful. Another gun that's dropping from PvP, I don't know if it's dropping from other places, is the Stars in Shadows, which is a Redrix broadsword pulse rifle style. So it's a very slow firing, but it's very hard hitting. Spear Gaming has got a God Roll guide for you for that, and that includes PvE versions and PvP. Really, I think it's going to be one of those ones that I might want to kind of look into, because I did really like my Redrix. Although it has kind of been sunset, I can still use it in normal Crucible, but like the higher stuff. So this may be something I was going to look at. And then a couple of builds this week.
It also drops with Thresh, just so you know.
There you go. And then a couple.
Become my new overload or overflow. I want Thresh on everything.
Thresh is so amazing, dude. It's so good. And okay, for a Warlock build, I don't know if you've got this, right? For a Warlock build, I'm getting a Warlock every 30 seconds to a minute. With, okay, if you don't have the bad juju, right? There's a scout rifle, one of the new scout rifles. It's called, we talked about it earlier, the Royal Chase, right? I have one that's got full auto and Thresh, and it's void. That's important. Warlock, either middle tree arc or is it bottom tree void? plus Nezarec Sin, supers all day, every day. You don't even need any other weapons or anything. You just super all the time. It's insanity.
Welcome to our new show, Two Titans and a Warlock,
Or
where
just-
we break down all the good weapons for you.
Warlocks have such good builds this season, though. Don't get me wrong. I do too on my freaking Hunter that I talked to you guys about earlier.
No, you don't even Hunter anymore. You Titaned and you've Warlocked this
I'm
week.
playing Hunter at this exact
Why,
moment.
why would you not bring a Warlock into the new raid? You just have to be like, I am a Warlock. I have the stasis. And the raid will be like, I'm sorry, sir. Please come right through.
That's the thing. We didn't have any Warlocks. We had 4 Hunters and 2 Titans. And then Fuzz is like, no.
That's a different show.
So Fuzz had to swap from his Hunter to his Warlock, just so we have at least one Warlock in the raid. Because we didn't have any Warlocks.
And he will make it to the end boss, and you guys will still be in the first room, and he'll be like, I don't know, guys. They just let me walk through. I don't know what happened.
I can just walk through walls as a Warlock now. Did you know that the blink that you skipped right to the boss, by the way?
Yeah, I just showed it my staff, and they were like, no, I'm sorry, sir. You come right through here. Get you a drink.
They moved the velvet rope for him.
So I've got a couple of good builds for you for a Titan anyway. Error has got a Titan stasis build using Armamentarium and the Deafening Whisper, which is the grenade launcher that Respawn was talking about earlier. So he's got a good guide for you for that. And this will change the way that you play as a Titan. It really will. It looks fantastic. Yes. Go and try it out, Peroty. Just go and try it out.
Give me the link, and I will.
I will. I'll slide into your DMs with it.
All right, ladies.
We can be happy things too.
And Crazy Mr. Pips has a Hunter one. So this is either solo or team, a PvE DPS build. And it will require you getting the new Mask of Bacchus and using stasis. But what I didn't realize from this new Hunter Blink ability that you can use on this Hunter helmet is that once you've blinked, you get increased damage.
Oh, yeah, you do.
Arc weapons. Or is it arc abilities? It's just arc in general.
Just arc, yeah.
Yeah. Oh my god. That is going to be a game changer. So he's got a really good DPS build for you for PvE. So this might be one for you to check out, Respawn, if you can.
What's the heavy he's using? Because I have a theory. What's the heavy he's using?
Well, I'm not going to tell you. You're going to have to go and watch the video.
It's either going to be the Anarchy or the Arc heavy sniper. I'm guessing sniper.
No, it's not. Anyway, so you're going to have to go and watch the video. And that's it. That's all my tips, trips, guides, and builds this week.
Lame.
That was more than one. Good job. Well, is that the end of the show? Shall I end it? And Respawn can finish your grind for your raid race, and I can I don't know.
Yo, I just got a submachine gun, the new one, and it's got no, that ain't it. Where the hell to go? Subsistence and Vorpal weapon. Not bad, dude. Not bad.
Not bad at all.
Anyway, so here is where I be. Oh yeah, we're still recording, aren't we?
We are. Well, I think we're done the recording though, and I guess we don't have an ARF this week.
No, for you.
So Nora, for you, go read the lore. We'll have ARF back. We're not ARF back. One of the back to read you lore sometime in the future.
Bungie gave you lore this week. Go read it. Go do your homework.
Exactly. Thank you for joining us. Your Titans are Peroty and Night Demon. Your Hunter is no one response in real life. Our war scribe, lost in the wilderness, is not ARF. You can email the show at twotitansandahunter@hotmail.com. You can find the show on Twitter at twotitans_hunter. We're on Instagram and Facebook too at, you guessed it, Two Titans and a Hunter. If you need raid help, go watch the raid race, and one of those people can help you figure out how it all works. We're here to offer hindrance, trials, hurt, and giggling. You can find all your favorite Guardians on Xbox Live and Respawn on Xbox Live and PC. Message him. He loves getting messages all times of the day or night. You can watch the show on YouTube, listen to the show on Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Spotify, and everywhere fine podcasts are sold. And I just have one closing thought to share that I saw on Twitter, on Reddit this week. On a lighter note, I was trying to explain Izanagi's burden to my wife, and I told her, you can combine the whole magazine into one bullet. And she said, without missing a beat, I can combine my whole fist into one punch. She means a Titan, and that was the most Titan thing I've ever heard anyone say. I couldn't have been more proud. So find someone who makes you as happy as this lovely. Respawn, tell the good people goodbye.
Deuces!
And my team can add his goodbye when he gets back, because He's not the boss of us until he edits.
Right?
You're not the boss of me. Although no one will ever know that I said that. That's okay.
Lol.